Big news from the Bank of Canada. I'm going to tell you about it starting right now. Hey, it's Andrew Shackleton, Kitchener-Waterloo real estate broker, Drew at home.com. So, Bank of Canada, they've left the overnight rate at 5%, same as September, and actually 5% was the rate they set in July. What's this mean going forward? Well, obviously, if you're refinancing, that's good news. You're not going to have rates going up, at least not in the short term. And if you're looking at purchasing property, you can take a little bit of a breather because it's suddenly not going to get more expensive. They stayed flat. What's this mean, though, with housing and the economy? Well, one thing I want to talk to you about is what's known as the yield curve. Typically, Treasury bills and Bank of Canada bonds. You're buying debt, and of course the Bank of Canada or the feds in the States are paying you interest on the money that you're basically lending them. And usually what ends up happening is short-term debt, 1 or 2 year bonds, are usually cheaper than long-term debt. And the reason why is nobody really can tell what's going to happen with an economy 10 years down the road or 5 years down the road. So that longer-term debt typically pays you a higher yield. Right now, though, in Canada and in the States, that yield curve, as it's called, is actually inverted. And right now, the gap between 1 year and 2 year and 10-year bonds is around 3/4 of a basis point. And it was actually a lot worse 6 months ago. That yield curve has actually started to come up, that difference between short-term and long-term. It's a harbinger of recession. That's the news that's connected to this. So I'm kind of glad to see that it's climbing out of that trench. I think the pause we're seeing with the Bank of Canada today is because they're worried about the economy slowing down too much, and they've paused. They're going, okay, we've gone far enough. Some people are actually saying that by next summer we could actually see a bit of a reduction in rates. And for anybody buying, that's probably good news. And for anybody refinancing, that's good news as well. Housing-wise, what do you want to do about it? Well, since the spring of 2022, we've seen steep reductions in price. Here in Waterloo region for detached, we're down, I think, 28%, somewhere around there, 25, 28%. That's a fairly hefty reduction. Going into the winter season here, we usually see listing activity and buying activity just plummet because, of course, around Christmas time, nobody wants to buy property. If you're looking to buy, ideal time right now, I would say even into January and February are going to be perfect times to buy property because you're missing that spring busy season where everybody and their uncle wants to buy a house. In the spring market, you usually pay a premium. So if you're looking at buying, maybe think about doing it now. Anyways, you want more information on this? Every time the Bank of Canada updates their overnight rate, I publish that, and I publish the monthly mortgage basket of various types across the country for each month. That data is on my website. You can see it quite easily. And as well, if you're looking for help purchasing property, feel free to give me a call, 226-600-1548, or shoot me an email at andrew@drewathome.com. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Thanks so much for watching and have yourself a fantastic day.